This is a bit of a grudge match after that mishap in playoffs, but we might not have much time to talk about it because the players I can see already rolling out as we get in here for this lower bracket round 2 game. 4 Fence, as usual, in their traditional blue colours, up against the Bloodsail Buccaneers here in the red on this first mid-fight.
Yeah, a lot of height taken from the soldiers of the Buccaneers early on. No real fights, no early bombs coming, just playing it a little bit slow. First bomb's coming in now from the French side, not able to get onto the medic. Mac is a casualty, however. We'll see what the Buccaneers can do. Can they retake this height? Can they retake the pressure? They're both playing it pretty slow here, Ben.
A big denial from Nevo there. Silv's just got taken very low, but Broke is actually the one bombing in, landing in onto Deli, trying to sink up some rockets, but he's going to play with his life and not find anything in return. So it's about now, can the rest of these players on the Buccaneers get out? Can they scurry something together? They're quite deep in. I think they're going to be losing the scout as well. Yes, Yunu's gone down. And just 3 surviving here for the Buccaneers. They're out of mid, and they might well have to be out of second as well.
Yeah, 4 Fence charging straight into second here. They give it up here on the Bloodsail Buccaneers. It is not worth their life. It's not worth the risk here. They are just going to be getting set up onto this last point, while the midpoint still being capped up by the Frenchies, and now be looking to move into lobby, see if they can get some sacks going.
Yeah, this feels like a bit of a land decision, this sort of backing out. You're not trying to risk anything on second, not going to go for any kind of crazy counter push. They know the stakes. They know how important this game is over the Buccaneers side. They don't want to go for any crazy kind of risk. That's why we see Sail building the gun, and that's why we see Yunu just picking up the rifle, just with all intent of slowing this down to a halt. And that's a good start with a nice shot over onto Demul.
Yeah, that just slows things down instantly there. They know they can't push with Demul. However, with him going down, it gives a little bit of a chance for them to potentially get an off-class here. Obviously, they know there's a Junu sniper here. Occasionally, you know, you want to take him down first, but Junu's just kind of hitting shots here, so it might be a hard task, especially when they don't come up on anything. They're just going to cookie cutter it, try to get this sentry gun down, and most likely go for a couple of sacks out. Yeah,
with these single picks to Soldier and hitting those headshots like that, it does slow things down, but that's about all it does. There's no real chance of a push out unless it's going to be a kill, maybe into a demo or a medic. So Yunu just going to keep doing his job, just trying to hold on these doors and try and slow things up.
They are busting through jumps, coming in from Brugesman, not able to get onto the medic, instantly taken down. So 2 soldiers down from 4 Fence. Do the Buccaneers try to push out on that? Looks like they might do a little bit of prodding and poking. Stills looking at 2 here.
Having a look, having a peep, no soldiers to spam means they can actually get fairly far forward. As we see Silvers just deciding, you know what, enough is enough. Gonna back up, and they're just so content to just sit here and chill.
Yeah, staying up on this double soldier are the French team. We see a lot of teams, they'll just switch instantly to the sniper if it's not working, but they want to make the sack happen. I think I might have seen some booties on one of these soldiers. I think that is going to be the man treads up on at least one of them here. So going to have less knockback here from the sentry gun. Gives a bit of a better opportunity if you think you just can't get onto them. Yeah, it looks like it's at least one. Demul goes in for the fast bomb. He's up high. He's not denied. Nice little deny by one of the soldiers. Eon lives on 24 HP. Nearly hits a second rocket as Brugesman.
And now we can see a bit of a scurry forward. A lot of crits actually racked up there from Sail, which might come into an important situation later on. But they're going to have to wait for these soldiers, and they're just going to have to wait one more, unless Yunu gets a peek.
Yeah, I thought a lot more time had gone down, but it's only been 2 minutes. This French side has been pretty proactive at just getting these sacks in fast as possible here. Still staying on the double soldier once again. So, to be honest, that sack was quite close. 24 HP of Eon. I think if you just get lucky and that first soldier doesn't get in the way, I think you have a good opportunity. It's a pretty nice sack from the Frenchies. They're sending it in again here. First one in onto the engineer, onto the medic. Eon 30 HP, and he's okay. He's holding on.
Just about holding on.
Sniper.
Oh, nice little shot there over onto QB, but again, like, it's soldiers down. They're just looking to poke. They're just trying to get whatever damage they can over onto these players. Maybe turn this into a push out, but you can see they're so reluctant to go aggressive.
Once again, French side making their way into lobby. Can Lightning finally strike for this French side? Can they make something happen? Looks like they want to maybe change it up a tiny bit. Gonna be sending a couple players towards one, towards lobby C, if they can find a different angle, because surely they're expecting it on the Buccaneers here. Not finding anything thus far. It's a headshot out from Junu, denying anything, but it's just Nevo running in. He gets Mac. Can he find Junu? 1 HP and a dream. Somehow Junu will live. Nevo still in deep here, still causing chaos, but I can't see him being long for this one. But it doesn't matter because Demul is in, unspotted. He's doing everything. It's 3 players down. Now the French side, they Uber on in. Eon went down during all this chaos, and this is a surefire cap. Nevo uncontested on the point.
And the thing is, it was Nevo who started all of that off, bullying and bullying the kill onto Mac, and then that just opens up all the doorways. The bomb lands in from Demul, strips the Uber charge straight out of Eon's Medigun, and this is what can happen if you sit and sit and sit on last. Eventually, you may well crumble, and that's what happens to the Buccaneers here. They have just been completely blitzed.
Fantastic, fantastic last pushes from the French team. Even the ones that didn't work looks really well put together. Looked like they had some really set plays, but we'll see what the set plays are now as Deli. Okay.
Big pipe on the denial. That's got to feel good for the French Demoman now, as look at the space they can take forward. Instant denial on that first bomb. And there we go, they're settled out, and look, Bloodsail Buccaneers on the back foot once more. They haven't been able to do anything this game, and we're 6 minutes in. They've sat on their last, lost a round, and now they're just going to be sat on their second.
Yeah, 2 mids in a row for the French side, instantly pushing into sewer here, putting a little bit of spam, taking their way onto grass. Nevo charioting his medic of Mula while there's some spam in through on the flank here. No one taken down particularly low, probably looking for some stickies on Eon, make a sack easier. Nothing really coming out. Looks like the French team gonna back up for a second, gonna get a little bit of health before they can really do much more here.
As we've seen before, that there's no rush. Nah, no rush whatsoever for the French, especially now they're a round up.
Looking to do about the same here, Demul. Looking his way into IT, the rest of his team will be looking at choke and into sewer here. So it only takes one sticky, it only takes one opportunity for someone to go in deep and get onto that medic. Eon did get tagged a little bit, given a little more space this time are the French side here, but still not able to get in particularly deep here. It's ever so hard. We might even see an Uber trade coming out if we're not too careful.
Yeah, Nevo's getting a lot of fun here on the grass, pushing it forward, getting a lot of beam and a lot of space, but eventually it's unsustainable. They're on the low ground, they're taking rockets left and right, and obviously Forfence, they just want to reset. They can just go for this as many times as they please.
Yeah, so second attempt for the French side here. Do you think they switch something up, Ben? Do you think they go for a different strategy?
I think what happened last time almost worked. I think they had the pressure in. It's just that they didn't quite land the damage, didn't quite land the stickies that they were after. And as we see again, they're trying to go around the same strap once more, pressuring out onto grass. There's a soldier top IT, maybe looking to rip a sack in with a scout as well. So potential flank play, but it's the combo bombing in. Brugman, nice rocket there into Eon, who's down at 70 HP, but is perfectly safe out behind the point.
Looking to put a little more pressure into choke are the Buccaneers here, having at least a little look. It's a soldier in onto the medic of Mula, will surf out safely. Silves does go down, gives a bit more of an opportunity with that 20-second sack. Brugman coming up any second, but they don't even want to wait for him, because they're already peeking their way into sewers here. Can they find anything on the flank? Can they find anything on grass here? They know there's one player disadvantaged, and Nevo is so deep. He takes the Uber, forced out, and Eon drops sail here. This is tragic, and look at this. They've got the high ground straight away on the French side. The Buccaneers, tail between their legs. They have to leave. Lovely little trade, and once again, Eon just dropping sail, can't keep happening.
I was about to be criticising that Uber use there from Forfest, but it worked out perfectly well because the kill comes into Sail. Brugman in behind with a few rockets, a few ambitious attempts there as he drops down. And actually, there's a good bit of damage here towards his heavy. Maybe there's chance for the Frenchies to start spamming forward. Can they get a sack in before Eon is fully protected? Because there's no Ubers in play and there's no gun yet until Sail is able to pick that one up. But there's a good timing for a sack, but just not quite coming to fruition.
Yeah, I think they're deciding against it. No reason to really risk your medic's life here. Kubi is coming up on the sniper here, so we did not see that last time. I did comment how often coming into last you will switch to sniper and try to get something going with that, but the Frenchies didn't do that before, but now maybe, you know, it's a bit of an element of surprise. Going to be looking into one. That is where Mac is located. Can he find a shot?
Mac was the first one to fall last time around, and maybe will be the first one again, as he's the one jostling with this rifle, but it's such a narrow little corridor. It's really tough to find an angle, to find your way around that spam. And with Yudu on the other side too, we've seen what Yudu can do already at this LAN. Might be a tough peak to take for QB.
Yeah, he's now a known element as well. I feel like Sniper works best where you have the element of surprise, and you can just kind of take that pop shot when someone's not really thinking about you, but now they're going to be playing those safe angles, going to be playing a little more scared, and yeah, Junior is going to be constantly looking for that counter snipe as well.
So now currently creeping forward, 150 onto a soldier, but not enough damage to land the kill. As now they're just going to try and rotate round. QB this time just switching it up left and right. This is what you've got to do in these situations. You can't let your position be known long term. You've got to be swapping it out.
Trying to play into one, but denied by those stickies onto Mac. Will move his way into two, gets a 50 damage at least, and instantly going to rotate here. You have to think, this time, last time they pushed last, they'd already had 2 soldier sacks in, and that's what they're going to do again as Brugman comes in, playing into this heaven area, not able to get anything, but gives good space to QB. Can he find the crucial shot to keep his team in? Doesn't look like it. Mac going to take down Nevo as well. Blokes in. Can he find the shot? Forces Moolah. Huge stuff from the Buccaneers.
Absolutely fantastic work there from Bloke on the counter-attack. That's what they've needed for the first 11 minutes of this game. That has been the first explosive moment to come out of the Buccaneers, and it comes from Bloke on a fantastic counter-attack, getting the force out into Moolah. But Demul is on a back cap. Has he been spotted? One scout, 1v1. Cap coming through. There is a cap 3 times on second. But Yunu wins it out. And second is secured. It's going to be big advantage coming into mid. The Buccaneers might have some wind in their sails.
Yeah, looking straight into IT here. See if they can catch any players out. They are flying on in. It's going to be a sack in here from Brugman, taken down cleanly. That's 3 players down for the Frenchies. This should be a conversion straight onto second.
It's 50 ad as well. Moolah nowhere near getting this uber charge. Demul and Sniper in forwards, but trying to peer in, trying to find anything. But look, they're already out off offense. They don't want anything to do with the second hold.
Yeah, 85% on the Uber. Should be getting it by the time that the Buccaneers do move their way in onto last. It is going to be taken in through 3. Mac charging in here. Uber finally used, however, it will be the Uber for forfends coming out a lot later. They have a heavy, they have a scout, and there's just a Sylves in the backline. Is their only hope. Taken down here is the rest of the Buccaneers. Luckily, 4 of them managed to escape. It looks like forfends. They want to get things going. They want to continue in. They clear these stickies well, and it will be soldiers bombing in. Brugman a little alone here. Nice arrow from Moolah, but it's kind of getting a little messy, a little scrappy here, but it's looking a little bit better for the Frenchies.
Absolutely so, and you wouldn't normally see a team pushing out like that. It just with 2 soldier picks, we saw Buccaneers never do it, but the difference here is that there weren't Uber charges in play. There's no threat of an Uber trade, and that means that Buccaneers, they have no way to stay in without their soldiers.
The French side does not want to stop, storming their way straight through choke, trying to take some space in this upper area, and looks like they might be doing so successfully. Bloke taken down to single-digit HP, does have to back out, and some nice rockets being hit from Brugman. But they're still scrapping it out, Ben.
They absolutely are. They really want to stay in here, and they really want to fight this, and with the spawner advantage and equal Ubers, they can eventually trade across this point and try and get something going, but look how passively Buccaneers have been forced on this mid. They've been forced all the way back to their own choke, and they might just be having to concede this just by the sheer means of pressure.
Yeah, very long extended fight there. I was maybe expecting they would just trade on the Buccaneers. Mac was in quite a poor position. Honestly, feel like he's lucky to come out alive from that one, but now we will see the Frenchies in a position we've seen them in before, trying to sack their way on to second here. See what they do, if they change anything up or if they continue to go for this kind of pressure cooker from grass.
Looks like grass might be on the menu once more for the Frenchies. They've got their scout in position, demo in position also, and Brugman, who's the one spamming rockets in. It's all about can they land some tags onto Eon, but it's actually Moolah the one who's taking a bit of chips, had to go back for the pack there, but we'll see Nevo coming in and see if they can just land anything and see if they can eventually get onto Eon, who has evaded them for most of the game.
Yeah, last time I feel like it worked for the French side because they did get that Sylves long respawner here and took that nice aggression with Nevo, but I don't know if they'll be able to do that this time. QB has actually taken a lot of space into IT here, but just they're not really able to get too much going here on the flank straight away. QB backing up. Is it over for this push potentially, or are they just going to keep pressuring on in, trying to just find something?
Again, they're playing it in such a low-risk fashion. I think from Forfence, nobody's committing hard, but they're not sending anything. They're just waiting and waiting to see if there's a mistake. But the Buccaneers, they're holding solid, they're spamming, they're doing good damage, and they're just doing enough to stop Forfence from just walking in for free.
They have weathered the storm this time, but once again, the French side coming for another contest, doing the exact same play. Nevo going so aggressive, I thought maybe they were going to take straight. Rouge is in. Can he find the second rocket? Finds the first, but Eon will be living that one. It's bombed straight away from the Buccaneers. It is going to be Bloke coming in behind. Finds a nice big damage rocket, but it's not quite enough, unfortunately, finds the faces of the rest of the team. Nevo now, though, he wants to come in, Ben.
They absolutely do, and I completely respect this decision because Bloke's an incredibly long respawner, and also this extra soldier will help the attacking side more than the defending side because there's rear doorway not watched. Look at flank getting busted into already. All 5 of the Buccaneers stuck on this point as the Uber trade comes in, and Nevo runs in trying to get as much space as possible.
Yeah, any kills are good here. He's kind of caught them solo into all by himself. Brugeman comes, follows up, helps finish off Sills here. Bloke will be at least helping out, getting that kill. Going to be in behind, but I don't know if he'll be long for this world.
Oh, nice
Nearly
win.
gets QB though, doesn't he?
Yeah, really nice win from QB, and that might be a big deal, actually. Losing both soldiers, there's no spam on these doors. They can start walking forward, trying to get damage with this heavy. They've got a scout on the flank already. Look at the space being taken by these players. In on the last point by Forfence. They're bombing forward, trying to get in. Heavy falls, damage into Sail 2, and actually, it's not even the damage that wins it. They just cap up the point just by sheer force of will.
Taking down that heavy early was super crucial there. Brugeman in such a good position, actually communicated with his team, crazy. They came in flooding through one as Brugeman bombed over, took down that heavy. He's basically the only one who can deny them from that point at that moment. So super, super solid push from the French, playing very well on this first map of Process thus far. We'll see if they can continue things on or if the Bloodsail Buccaneers will fight back, scabbard in hand.
Well, this time they decided to go a bit slower on mid. Bloke not going to go for the very, very fast one over on to Delhi after receiving the pipe last time. And it's Brugeman, the first one to jump and cycle around here. As they're just trying to rotate around, both teams going in the clockwise directions for now, but it's been a slow rotation from Forfence. They're taking quite a lot of damage, and they're having to just stop and bow up for a moment. That's going to give some opportunity, I think, for the Buccaneers to maybe looking to get to height.
Yeah, Brugeman's gone behind here, but Muller taken down low earlier. Unable to pick him up straight away, but Delhi going down is a tough start to this. Brugeman behind, not able to do anything at the moment either, just kind of caught in enemy sewers here. He's so known about, surely he gets nothing. Oh, they refight though from the French side.
The damage onto Eon! The spam rockets from Brugeman did so much damage to Eon. He's so weak. Has to go and get the pack, has to step off the point, and has to regroup with the team as they try and get this last bit of Ruby Charge. They do get the Ruby Charge up, but it is stripped away as fast as it came as Eon drops again.
How the French side came back into that, I do not know. Those rockets, immaculate from Brugeman. Surely someone just deals with him. There's a couple of stragglers trying to get in onto Muller here, but he is a smooth operator.
It's just so telegraphed. It's so telegraphed on the feed wave in onto Muller as they try now. 2 rounds up already. They could make it 3. They have full Uber ad. They're not even going to wait for the setup, I don't think. There's a crits coming up. But this is going to be all hands on deck for the Buccaneers. Can they defend this?
It's going to be a tough one here. They will at least have the sentry gun. They will have the heavy coming up top. And they have everything they can to potentially do this, but the French team, they've looked clinical thus far. Are they clinical again here?
Max caught!
No, he's not. He managed to get the respawn by, but a lot of cap time coming out from QB.
Laser
beams!
Oh, beautiful stuff from Yunu, flicking left and right. Someone's clearly been on that Kovacs aim training grind there with the heavy, as only 2 survive. Brugeman and Muller running out, escaping, and Bloodsail Buccaneers, that's what they need to stay in this game. Goes 3-0 down, it's almost 0 chance of them getting back in. Now there's still a hope. They have a bit of advantage, but they have a QB sniper to deal with. Do they try and walk through regardless? And maybe not, because QB completely smites any chance of a push.
Yeah, finding that shot here. They're going to send in Bloke to try to deal with him. Not able to smite him down. So this gives the Frenchies a great opportunity. Should be making their way straight into second. And probably looking to go to last with this full Uber advantage.
That's the thing, the sniper, it was just completely unexpected. You can see from the movement on Eon, he just was not thinking of the possibility of a sniper being there to stop that. And now it's the second time They've had this Uber advantage in just a matter of a minute, but this time around, there's going to be no crits. There's no even dream of an Eon Uber charge coming the other way as Deli uses in through one.
Yeah, fast Uber in through one here, not able to get in on anything. Deli not able to jump either, apparently. Please get it back on the jump maps, Deli. Doesn't take down the sentry gun early. They do have all the high ground, but making it a little difficult. QB ringing out the first kill of the fight here, but they're kind of trading straight back, and they're in an awkward situation here, but they're somehow making the best of it. Deli 6-9, destroying. Mac somehow will manage to get into the respawn queue, but they're all just in the respawn cabinet this whole time. Finally, will push their way out, will clean up the French side, and Mula looks like he's in a bit of danger.
Getting chased down by Yunu, and it's going to be an attempt at a push out here. QB still on the sniper, going to be a bit of a nuisance potentially, or maybe not, as he just gets spammed down. As now the tables turn once more. Eon full advantage as they look to push in, and we see now from what Brugman and Mula are going, they do not want anything to do with this middle point. They just want to get on second, and they want to get their own Uber back, because that's only coming up in a matter of seconds. The Buccaneers, they might be in for the long haul into second.
Yeah, they're peeking into second here. What can they find? Matt going very aggressive, left a little alone here. They have finally capped up this midpoint. They should know Ubers are even. Mac taken down to a sliver of HP here. I think they're going to slow things down now. Just a little bit on the Bloodsail Buccaneers. Get a little healthy and look for how they will sack in. We haven't seen them sack in onto second yet. Sail and Mac taking themselves into sewers, very similarly to what we saw the French side doing, so should be seeing a little bit of grass pressure, potentially.
We'll see a fair few things, but the Buccaneers, they need something, and that has to be a round. Well, two of them to be specific, because they have only 9 minutes left to get in this game, so it's all well and good being in a stalemate where they're on the front foot, but they don't want to be hanging around here for too long as that timer starts to tick down. We see Mac landing good damage over towards the soldiers, but not quite anything onto Mula, who is just tucked away so safely on the back of this point, just hasn't even seen anyone.
Uber comes out, actually. Not too sure what they really forced to, but Eon just taken down low. Yeah, the spam was so good from Forfence during that entire fight, and that's basically as bad as it can go. Losing a player as well just gives Forfence such a good opportunity to get here onto mid, looking to take their way in through choke. Setting up some sticky traps as Deli. Soldier jumping in. It's almost like you can see the future. And now Forfence just allowed to blast their way in onto mid. Deli taking the height straight away, and it is the side of the Bloodsail Buccaneers backing up into their second. Only on 50% as well here, so surely the French side keeps one going, Ben.
They absolutely can, and look at them. They're taking space into sewer already. They're trying to walk forward, and this Eon Uber charge is nowhere near in sight. As they look, they're walking in, soldier bombing in behind, maybe a mini air shot attempt there from Sills, doesn't actually get it, and doesn't even get the kill at all. So one soldier down. Yes, it's going to be even Ubers, but there is chance here for the Frenchies to get in and potentially put Eon's life in peril with this one soldier down. They can sack fast, they can sack early. Eon already taking some stickies from Deli. Could be in trouble. We see soldier jumping forward too, but is it going to work? The force comes out, it does.
Yeah, have to save your soldier there. The soldier just getting up into this high ground, making a nuisance of themselves and managing to go into heavy, and yeah, Eon decides to save him. Demul hiding up in panic room here. Does anyone know about him? Oh my god.
Oh, all the gang know. They are all so aware, especially Yunu there, with a nice little taunt on the kill. Oh, on the shotgun. Heavy. But it's all well and good. Yunu's having some fun with some taunts. But I think Yunu might be having less fun in a few moments' time when a potential Uber charge is going to be walking into the Buccaneers last. As look, they're grouping up. They want to take it lobby, but they have to be fast. Eon's crept up to 80% Uber. Is there time?
Yeah, they've been building really well here. They do use him, but 90% Uber onto Eon. Do take down the sentry gun, but surely he's going to get it during this fight, playing safely. They do get some early caps. I need to be a little bit careful about that. Do take down QB, take down Deli as well. Does have to be said, this push has not gone super well for them. That Heavy just doing so much. I think maybe just miscalculated how much Uber they would be having on the French side. Now the battle onto second is coming out, and it is actually blown in on behind onto Mula. Gets 142, and it is finished up by Sills, who is going to manage to escape.
Just about. There was a few stickies towards the choke point that got bloke, but that was it. Sills gets out, and this is maybe what they need in the Buccaneers side. Massive advantage, going to be probably ballpark of 60-ish%. as they walk forward now onto mid. They need to get this fast. They need probably to get second with this advantage as well and look to perhaps use it into last, but it's do or die. There's so little time left.
Yeah, this is where you need to start playing aggressive. You need to start playing balls. You need to take these risks, but if you take those risks, Nevo might take your head off. It's going to find a body shot onto a scout, but taken down for it. It is going to be 3 players down for the French side for 2 on the Bloodsail Buccaneers. Do they just run this one in, or are they going to wait here for the rest of their players to come up? It's going to be tight if they decide to do that. 50% on the 4th side. It's about 20 seconds to build that Uber. Yeah, Mac's just doing it.
Mac has to. They know the time pressure. It's time-sensitive mission for Mac and co as they surf their way in onto this last point. They haven't used yet, just about used Uber now. Yunu going to walk in, try and do damage to this right-hand side. They need cap time. They need something to get in before their reinforcements arrive on this point, but Sylph's going down, not what they're wanting. They can't quite get anything onto the point because Deli has just laid it with sticks. He's constantly resupplying them, and now with both soldiers down, it looks like the Buccaneers, they're going to have to back it up, back it over on to the second point. It didn't quite work. The 2 players down was just too much.
Yeah, I like the attempt though. I think that's what they need to be going for to be able to stay into this game. Unfortunately, didn't work out for them this time. It is going to be Junu. Just gets the force onto Mula pretty unspotted. He is going to be going on to Lassie. The second point's not capped up. Instead of capping it, he's just going to take all these eyes, take all these players out of the fight for just a minute here. Does go down for his troubles. His team not able to capitalize on the flank this time.
Well, they're kind of capitalizing in a way because look at the advantage. It's 80 advantage. Yes, they're waiting for spawners, and never mind, it's not 80 advantage anymore because they've decided to capitalize on it straight away with an Uber charge forward. And they've got second for it, but are they going to get anything else? They're waiting on spawners. They can't really do too much towards mid. Brugman, in the meantime, having a little MGE session here over on mid. But all eyes on this last point. Can they get in? Can they get something cooked up with 4 minutes left?
Yeah, with Brugman down, they're essentially 2 players down. QB will be that respawner coming up, not able to get anything because of that. Brugman in behind is just going to get onto Eon. Was no one looking for him? You can't let that happen.
They must have just forgot. They must have just forgot. A guy behind probably despawned, left the server, you know.
Something, Mac old Alzheimer's.
Yeah, no, it's that's crazy. Brugman, just perfect timing, coming in up from top lobby, and that should be the nail in the coffin, you'd have to say, for the Buccaneers.
3 minutes left. It's possible, but is it plausible? I think not, especially with this Uber. Sylph's coming in for the hero bomb, along with Bloke not able to hit that first shot. However, Bloke will manage to do it for him either way here. Not able to get much else. They do escape actually very well on the Buccaneers, and I expect them to refight pretty promptly.
They may as well, right? They've got the force. They've got some advantage, but the problem with the advantage is so far away that they're not going to be getting the Uber charge for a while. Sylphs trading out with Brugman, not ideal either for the Buccaneers coming in. They want him to get that kill clean if they want to start walking this one forward much further. But we're into the... It's probably possible, but we'll see.
Yeah, 80% on the Uber charge. You don't want to use it onto second here if you are the Buccaneers, but I think 4Fangs know that exactly, and they're putting up a stark defense here, making it as hard as possible, ticking down that timer. 2 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here. 80% on the 4Fence Uber. They need to get in now on the side of the Buccaneers, and they need to find something as Uber has come up for Mula, making things much more difficult.
They have to really, they can't wait for sacks, they can't wait for anything. It has to be here and now for the Buccaneers, but they're taking so much damage in lobby. They've lost Sail as well. And this looks like a team resigning in defeat to me. They've backed up onto second. They're re-entering lobby. Mac trying to rally the Pirates forward, trying to get them into last, but the sticky gets blasted away on the Uber, and they can't manage to get the ground they were after. Mula uses regardless from the heavy, and there is no way this shiny Russian wall is going to be able to be moved from this point, as the heavy weapons guy just tanks up all the damage.
Yeah, but they go for the refight play here. Do get 2 early picks, Nevo and Demul down. There's still hope, there's still copium for the side of the Buccaneers. Junu in behind, being a menace as well. Can the rest of his team follow up? It's Mac over point here, doing some good damage. Deli, the only real contestant left, but arrows coming out from Mula, making it so hard. Every second matters here. They get the point, but is it too little, too late? It's going to be a minute remaining for the Buccaneers. It's possible. You can do this, but they need to absolutely nuke the side of 4Fence this mid.
It has to be pain trains all around for the Pirates if they're going to get the cap time for this, because there is okay, the round came in at about 110. There's going to be about 50 seconds. It is just about possible. But Forfence, they know that this is the situation. They're not going to let themselves get themselves completely wiped. But Buccaneers, they have to just run. They have to start getting cap time, and they're just going to play it as fast as possible.
And that's exactly what's happening. Pain Train coming out, as you did say, onto the Soldier, just trying to keep him alive. Bombs coming in from the French side, however, straight onto Eon. They are swatted, but their scouts following up, doing absolute work here. No one in this cap time is making it now impossible with only 20 seconds remaining. Cell and Juno coming out valiantly at the end, picking up some crucial kills, but it was too little, too late for the side of the Buccaneers, and it will be Forfence taking it 2-1 in our first map here.
A worthy effort in the ending there, but not quite enough. Like we say, it was too little, too late. It felt like the first 10, 15 minutes-ish, they just couldn't get in the game on the Buccaneers side. They were locked out, they were stalemated on their own end for, well, a large chunk of that game. And yeah, it just felt like it was all in control for Forfence. They just felt so chilled the whole game.
Yeah, they just won those early mids and then just managed to make the most out of them, essentially. Had some really stellar last pushes out of them. And yeah, the Buccaneers, they came back. They made a worthy effort, but that's about all they could do. Already onto the cam of Delhi 6-9. Ben, take us away.
Yeah, no messing about starting this one. It needs to be no messing about now for Bloodsail Buccaneers. There are no chances left for them. A loss here will take them out of Überfest 2025 as this first mid is underway. A bit of spam landing across from Mac, but high bomb from Bruisman could do a lot of damage. Mac taken low. And actually a lot of players in this Bloodsail Buccaneers side taken low, as Bloke is the first casualty, with Bruisman doing bits in behind.
Yeah, the French team able to come in and collapse after that initial fight. And their soldiers did bomb in, did manage to get some damage and then back out. Not able to say the same for the Pirates, and they will pay the price for their plunder, as they do lose Eon, allowing Forfence to take second and giving them a golden opportunity at stealing their treasure of a round on the last point.
Absolutely, we've seen them look so good on process, but Gully Wash, very different last to push into. But it's not going to be long until we find out how the Forfence full Uber ad pushes into last are getting, because Nevo is looking very intent on using through this shutter.
He's looking a little menacing, does pop through straight away, getting onto the sentry gun, will be taken down first. Everyone else playing around these spawn doors, allowing themselves a little bit of time to get set up. Early cap time coming out for the French side is the commit of the soldiers coming on through. Even picks thus far, but you hope that this heavy can just hold things out for as long as possible.
15 HP.
He's so low, it's just a medic and a soldier on a sliver of HP. QB fighting this one out will win successfully. And that's an easy first round for Forfence.
That's what happens on Gully Wash. It's the worst map for it. If your mids are bad, if you're getting wiped on mid, these mid to lasts can be brutal. But for Forfence, what a mid fight it was. And again, we heard it on the desk. Dabul and Bruisman, fabulous soldier duo. And the way they pincered everyone in choke. There was nobody getting out alive from the Buccaneers, as Mac has smashed his head on the rollout.
That's a classic Mac. I think he's taking a little bit out of the Muma book here. Early bombs coming in from the Buccaneers. Unsuccessful at getting anything, get some good damage. But the same can be said. No, it cannot for the side of Forfence, as they're going to find Eon once again. Mula is kind of chilling at the moment. Cell maybe their last resort here.
In behind, trying to get something, trying to turn some heads, trying to get some damage. Gets one kill onto Nevo. But that's not the one kill he was after. And once again, Mula, full Uber advantage. And it just felt like they weren't really ready to have to do that right side mid after the rollout hit, and they just hurled in. Eon taken down. As actually, to be fair, Buccaneers, they are putting up a bit of resistance here on second. They're trying to slow down enough for this crit to come up on last, because that's at 50% currently for Eon. And we saw last map, the laser beams can be strong.
Yeah, they will come out heavy on that right-hand side as well on this map normally, so could be strong here. 80% coming up, but it is Forfence all the way in through Shutter here. Gonna get once again onto the sentry gun. Do so very surgically. Cell does get the crit creek here, not able to find anything. So much spam coming out from Delhi. Will take him down on that head glitch. However, the rest of the team has to back out a little bit. There's some funny fights coming out through under, but actually, I thought Forfence were looking so good, but it's looking a little tragic as Nevo finally falls. Sill's playing around spawn, and that will be a failed Uber push from the side of Forfence. Are they able to really get out on this though?
No scouts and a couple of late spawners is maybe enough to tempt them with the idea, and maybe that kill onto Demul is what they need. Look at how far forward they've got the CO3 in front, and they know now it is secure and it is safe to walk into mid. But one thing we've got to point out here, Eon used the crits on last for laser beams, had the option of almost equal Ubers with regular Medigun, but has stayed on the crits at 80%. It's do or die for this push, and it might be die for Mac because he gets caught before the crits can even be used.
Yeah, QB just hiding there in the
died.
banana area. Yeah, Mula dies. This is so good actually for the Buccaneers. It might be going their way. It's just Nevo left alive. Surely he cannot 1v4. That would be something for the Beta Legacy. Not able to do that today. Eon, 100% on the crits, doesn't opt to pick up the Medigun. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, intent on the crits, but crits into last is not exactly great. There is actually, I believe, a heavy and forward spawn from QB as well to contend with. There is potential for funny business here, but Delhi gets destroyed by some nice rockets from Silves, who's on a 5k, was actually on a tear on mid 2. But crits into last, how will this go?
Heavy disrupting things, gets such good damage onto that scout, going to slow things down at least for a little bit, but does it really matter as the rest of the team, they have capped up the point. They're looking into River. This crits surely is going to be onto Mac. Do they know they're still on it? Can Mac still hit his shots? Is he washed? We will find out. It's a crit straight in. It's a pyro reflecting absolutely everything. It's Cell going down early. It's a tragedy.
It's not pretty, is it? It's not great at all. In fact, it's quite disgusting. 0 damage.
No, he hit the pyro. Yeah, credit where credit's due.
A little bit. The pyro is still alive though. Oh well, has been class switched off, but now they're just stuck on crits long term.
Yeah, that's not where you want to be if you're the side of the Buccaneers here. As Forfans do take this opportunity to try to make their way in onto second. They're putting up a lot of pressure here on the Buccaneers. They don't want to give it free. Bloke's just in behind, drops Mula. This is a tragedy for the French side.
That wasn't a drop. Mula used Uber and switched off and then died.
Mula. You can't be doing this. You can't farm so much aura yesterday and then do this. Yeah, that's still
it's still crits.
This time Mac will do it. I'm a believer. The pyro, he'll forget how to right click. It will go terribly. It'll be great. Don't you worry, Ben. I can see the future. The Magic 8 Ball is coming out. Mac, what can you do? He's going to take down the sentry gun first.
That's maybe a good idea. Gun taken down. Pyro close.
Just take it on the scout.
Still, they actually could, but Sail's been caught out already. They just can't get through these doors without the invulnerability that Uber will provide. But Mac critsing in, misses the first sticky onto the ground, misses the second sticky, third sticky. Wasn't a crit. They died. It's gone a bit to pot again, but Eon lives, so they stay with the crit streak.
This is so anticlimactic every time. I'm expecting so much. I'm like, we're so back.
You've got to big it up, though. You've got to big it up, right? You've got to believe that one day it will work.
Unfortunately, today is not that day as the French team does make their way in onto second here, jumping these soldiers in deep. Demul takes down Eon, though. That's such a crucial pick here. That's so bad for the Buccaneers. Juno looking for a potential backcap, decides against it, maybe thinks he's spotted out here. Now the Forfans side going to be making their way in onto mid, taking it through this lower area. Can they find any picks onto these scouts? Doesn't look like Brugeman will be successful this time. They will successfully get this middle point. 100% Uber advantage. You'd think they get second as well. Unless Cell has something to say about it.
Yeah, Sail and the sniper could be rough to peek into. And look, they're trying to peek choke as well. Not where you want to be peeking into a sniper like this. As a headshot rings out onto Delhi, but the backspawn comes in. They know the timing so well over on Sail. They know how long they can peek that for. They know now it's time to get back to last, and it's time to just set up the defenses. With 60% Uber, there is a dream of getting a post-fight Uber, but not if Nevo is going to use him this early and this aggressively across the point.
Yeah, wants to get straight onto this demo man of Mac, does not do so successfully, so that's going to be a bit of a struggle at the start. However, the French soldiers coming in clutch, finding those picks, and that is all she wrote on this round as Forfans make their way up 2-0. The Couch's predictions looking pretty short fire at this point.
It's just fantastic use of space on that Uber charge. Yes, it doesn't get the kill, but it forces Mac below the point. It creates so much ground, all the low ground completely controlled by Nevo and the Uber charge. It just allows these soldiers to get in and do what they do best and just clean up everything. 2-0, and it's been 2 disaster mids from the Buccaneers. Can they get back in this game?
It's exactly why you have to worry about these French soldiers, and we'll see if they can keep the carnage going on this mid. No one committing super deep. A couple players trying to get some funny flanks going. It is going to be Sills and Blow coming together to absolutely decimate the French side.
That's what they need. That's how they need to get back in this game. And at 2-0, they have to be looking to convert this now. Buccaneers, look how far forward they've gone. They're looking out last already. Mid isn't even capped.
Yeah, they're just binning straight away, disrespecting the French side, seeing if they can find any early picks onto someone just peeking the door just a little too much here. They're very aware on the French side here, but they're just so deep in. Brugman getting in behind could be something. 98% on this Uber. Eon needs to get
it.
Dies!
No! Eon dies at 99%, doesn't quite get it, and that's the risk you pay when you're walking so deep in. They had to wait for the caps, they had to wait for the Uber charge, but they don't, and now Eon in the respawn queue, and that was a golden ticket back into this game that has just been thrown away.
It's one of those unlosable situations where you think, surely they cannot lose this, surely something cannot go wrong. And then Eon just dies with 99%. He was placed in such an aggressive position by his combo. Not much he really could have done about that. They're trying to make hero plays happen. Junu and Bloke both in behind. They know it's over. They know the hope of that last point is no longer there.
The thing is, at worst case, if you're Buccaneers, you just wait for the points to cap and take the full Uber ad. They go for this pressure play where they don't have an Uber charge to use as a bailout just by trying to lock the doors, and they're paying for it in big way because now Mula, Uber charge just about ready. They can look to use this in the second should they wish to, or they can try and take it for free, which seems like what they've managed to do completely because Eon does not yet have the Uber charge.
He will be getting it for this last though, surely. 90%, he's in a very safe position with his Pyro, so it's going to look like more of a sack play going to come out of the French team, I would expect. Going to be looking for an opportunity, some weakness. The gun only level 1 might potentially be that, or you can send a little cheeky scout into water, put a little pressure. Do always have Bloke playing up on this rim here. Does make things a lot more difficult for that scout to try to get in. Just going to basically take damage as soon as he peeks his little head through. But it's all about the pressure play, right? It's all about having a distraction, taking some eyes, making things difficult. Going to send a soldier partner in as well here.
And now all eyes on this point, all eyes on this ring, all eyes on that cap time as well. But Brugman the one being blasted away, and that's going to put things to a halt for a moment. One less player who can join in the squeeze. One less hand that can be wrapped around the neck of the Pirates as they're currently sitting steady, but 4 minutes left in the round timer. Like Forfens, they're in no rush at all. They can just wait this timer out should they wish. Maybe Dest mentioned it before, but this is what you can do.
Yeah, I'm going to knock Bloke off the high ground, but Mac has stickies there, does have a pipe as well, so gonna take down Demul, slow things down for the Frenchie for just a minute. QB still in this position, wants to try to go for something. Thought maybe he could get onto Mac, gets a good 100 damage, but it's not quite enough here. Frenchies are going to stay cookie cutter, no funny sniper business coming out. QB still fighting in this lower area.
May as well. So long as you're confident you're not going to die, you may as well just keep eyes down there, because eyes down there means it's not eyes in the combo. And no eyes in the combo means you can spam. And that's what the rest of this Forfens team are looking to do. They're looking to get themselves in and ready, potentially getting onto that gun, but with a Pyro reflecting, it's going to be not particularly nice. We can see a soldier joining QB underneath this time around as Deli gets a couple of peeks in, a couple of pipes over towards the sentry gun, but Brugman just being completely denied. Sail and Pyro doing a good job so far, just reflecting, well, everything.
Yeah, he's been playing his Pyro dodgeball, hasn't he? He's doing a really, really good job. There's a lot of pressure onto that sentry gun, and he is doing a valiant effort at keeping it up. You have to think the French side might have to try something different here. 2 minutes down on the clock, 3 remaining. Do they change strategy, or do they keep this pressure up? We saw them sending a lot of sacks in onto Process last, but looks like they just want to do the hard pressure play on Gully Wash last, once again playing from under, trying to get the sentry gun.
Plays very differently, doesn't it, over on Gully Wash? You have the option to go in underneath and play like point pressure, which is not an option many maps offer, as you can, you know, you want to distract someone, you want to find a kill, and you can really play the squeeze. Sacking in is maybe not as effective, but now it might be effective, because with one soldier down on Sylves, something isn't being watched, and Forfens have to work out what, and Brugman has noticed there's still a soldier on the ring, so the water entrance is locked off, so they gambled wrong on Forfens, and now I'm going to have to reset and wait for the Nevo sniper.
What can he do here?
Creeping forward. trying to find the angle over onto Mac, but does not find anything.
No, Sills is going to have his number. It's going to knock him down a peg here. And actually, Sills in a good position to try to stay down. That scout doesn't find that first rocket, and now going to find a deli as well. It's a bit of a risky position for Mr. Sills to be in here, but the French side constantly pressuring, constantly having someone under. QB will die. Gonna put a bit of a thorn in their side here, as that is a long respawner for QB to come up. I feel like it's just gonna be trade time next. I feel like this is the only thing the French side can really do, but it's so difficult with that sentry gun and that pyro playing close to shutters.
They have to try. They have to go for, well, that's it. If they want to get a round off this, they have to try. If they're completely content with wasting another minute off the clock and going into half number 2 of the game up 2 rounds, they could just sit here, but it seems to me like they have higher ambitions. Delhi trying to make some ground, trying to knock them off the ring, but the soldiers in the ring have been doing such a fabulous job so far for the Buccaneers. As, yeah, looks like trade might be coming in through the shutter. Can they get anything with this? Yeah,
they are playing against the Pyro class. QB is going to be on the Force and H trying to knock them off, so they're pulling out all the gimmicks, but don't even force the Uber from Eon here. Thought the Buccaneers might take the full Uber advantage and the 2-player picks, but no, they are quite content to round reset here, and they're feeling confident that Lightning can strike twice and they can manage to successfully win another mid. It was dominant last time. We'll see what they can do on this next mid. There's 15 seconds remaining. Surely this soldier under doesn't do anything. QB in secret though, there's a lot of pressure.
A lot of cap time, a lot of cap time coming in. Ubercharge used out. He's going to take quite a while to decay, but 6v4. Surely Forfens do not have a way back into this. Demulans needs spotted out very nicely. And Sills with the rockets. It's a full 6-man feed coming in. Nevo now on the point, but so many warm bodies on this point. Moolah going to be the last to fall. And there we go.
Yeah, round reset for the Buccaneers. It was a little bit scarily close. QB just basically getting 3/4 of the cap time out there. But yeah, the round does reset. Frenchies 2-0 up still into our second half of the game, as you did mention, Ben. What do you think the Buccaneers have to change here?
I think on the mids, maybe not too much. I just think they need to be, when they're in positions where it's going well, they just need to stop for like a moment and just think and not let themselves have this rush of emotion and aggression that it seems that they're playing with so far when they are in these good positions. But now, early damage onto Eon in the mid is going to be nice for Forfens. But once more, the soldiers are going really aggressive from the Buccaneers. They're landing in really deep. Kill onto Moolah, kill onto Delhi. And once again, look at this now from Bloke. They're trying to just completely squeeze. The health bars on Forfens just are not there.
Yeah, the Buccaneers showing why they had confidence in this map pick in the second half of the map here. It looked like a very dominant mid, keeping Eon alive. Moolah going down. They're not going to make the same mistake of overextending, trying to bin in onto last. Just going to cap up this point. We'll see what push they decide to do. Will it be shutters? Will it be river? It's going to be Uber. The other times they've had crits. So
yeah, and they are like actually doing a normal push. They're not trying to stay in and do silly spawn trapping and that kind of thing. But this time around, it's a good old stock standard Uber charge. Could be taken on Mac through the shutter. Stickies to be aware of. Mac jumping through, blasting onto the gun. Attention now going to turn in a moment to this left spawn. And never mind, they're going to actually try and just barge straight out from right here on Forfens. Sills bombing in, doing a great deal of damage, buying so much space, which plays into the point, currently keeping Forfens in this round. They've denied this incredibly well. And look how no cap time has managed to come in.
Yeah, it's just the Stickies on the point are not persuading them easily. Cell comes in, hits a nice Timmy 2-shot, but I don't think it's going to be enough here as the Pyro of Nevo will take him out. Eon looking like he's going to go down late as well. It couldn't have gone much worse for the Buccaneers on that push.
That Uber kind of just didn't get anything. It got a lot of space right side, but they really just couldn't get any cap time. They couldn't deal with anything underneath, and it just meant they were just getting squeezed out, and that really late death from Eon is meaning this is a full 100% Ubercharge advantage for Moolah and for Fence, and we might be in a very familiar situation very soon, because mid's been taken, second may well be getting taken. Unu Sniper in forward spawn, trying to hit some hero shots. We've seen these happen before on Product, but on this Gully Rush forward spawn has not been able to land anything yet.
Yeah, French side will be getting a couple players in. However, Kubi will be the first casualty here. Rougemont follows up, so what was looking like an easy push does not go so in the end here. They just got a little bit too cocky, a little bit too greedy. And now they do finally use in, but they're in a pincer position here. They can maybe get onto Eon, and they do successfully do so. But the backcap's coming in, and there's no chance for them to outcap on the French side. Taking a couple picks might be enough, though, if they play this well.
This is probably going to end up in disaster now for the Buccaneers, right? They're trying to scurry out. The spawners came in, they were completely locked in on enemy choke. Midpoint's going to flip, and again, it's going to be massive advantage for Forfens. You see, nobody in the Buccaneers is even thinking about contesting mid. They're just happy to be out and alive, to be quite honest. As they can now settle in, but once again, it's on their own half of the map. They're really not going to have much of an opportunity to get through and forward, or aren't even going to get a chance to get onto second even to begin with, because it looks like second's locked out. 10 minutes left. There's going to be 5 minutes on this round timer. Buccaneers are really up against the wall.
Yeah, they are in dire straits right now, and it's the Frenchies' opportunity to push into last, and they do so through Shutter. Once again, has worked out for them the past 2 times. They've tried it straight onto huge. Mac. This has to be a round.
Absolutely has to be. No stickies for this point. Not going to be able to be defended at all, as it's 3 rounds to the good for Forfens. They have 1 foot in that lower bracket semi-final already.
This is looking tough for the Buccaneers. They've had a tough LAN, had some high hopes for them, but when it matters most, they just look like they're faltering. This Forfens side just looking dominant throughout this whole game, honestly. There has been moments of glory, especially on the mid for the Buccaneers, but it just hasn't been enough. They haven't been able to convert onto these last. They need to step it up a gear. They need to make something happen in this last 10 minutes if they want to stay in Überfest 2025. Demul going down first, though, might be exactly what they need. It's not as clean as we previously seen. They're not finding those super early picks. QB going down, though. The picks are going the way of the Buccaneers, but the crucial one of Muller has not been found.
This is it's as good as you can realistically hope for the Buccaneers. Yes, 10 minutes to find 3 rounds is tough, but they've won the mid, and they've won it convincingly enough to also win the second. So now they can look forward towards this last point. They can look to spam in. They can look to try and sack early, and it has to be early. It has to be fast. They cannot be wasting around with time here. The timer is ticking. 3 rounds is a lot to find.
Yeah, Heavy Pyro is definitely weaker than having a Sentry Gun here. Better than a level 1, though, potentially, so this might be a decent opportunity to try to get something, do a fast bomb in, do some pressure. Is Junu looking into water, but the soldier there straight away to deny him. What will they do? Are they going to do the pressure similar to Forfens? Are they going to go for some fast sacks? It looks like Bloke is going to be playing in through under here, trying to get a good amount of damage. Nice air shot. Not enough to finish him off, however. Junu trying to follow up, but has a bit of backup in the side of Demul here.
Yeah, it's sad when you hit a nice little shot like that. If you don't get the kill, it doesn't go in the frag video. Simple as.
Things now slowing down. Uber's still even, waiting for their spawners on the side of the Buccaneers. The clock ticks down fast, though, at this point of the game, doesn't it? This feels like it's such a high-pressure situation, and all that pressure is going to land on the shoulders of Junu coming up onto the sniper. I think the theory of this is you put him in main, he takes down the guy on rim, and you can finally get that pressure onto point that you so desperately need.
It seems currently Junu's taking a bit of a round the houses trip up into top river. Doesn't want to get spotted out in lobby, and is intent on perhaps going for the iconic hero peak. Are we going to see it peeking in, swinging forward, sees Muller through the scope, sees him twice, does not land the shot. As he and Mac fall.
Gonna lose a third here in Bloke as well are the Buccaneers, and now this might give an opportunity, and it does look like they're going to take it on the side of Forfens to try to push out onto second here. They don't have to play it particularly aggressively. They should just win this spam. We'll take down Stills here is what they're going to do. Oh, Eon, that was so close. And now the Forfens side making their way in. It's going to be an Uber trade here. Used pretty equally. However, the Buccaneers, it's just going to be Sail alone trying to get something. Meets up with Mac as well, but now this is getting messy. But the rest of the Buccaneers, actually, they're coming in. They're making it a real fight here. It's going to be a scrappy one.
It absolutely is, and well, it is still already being a scrappy one now as Sail going to pick up Nevo. And look at this, a late spawner on Nevo. Second point held. Buccaneers have one lifeline here. They have a late spawner. There's no gun. They can look to pressure straight away. There's stickies in the shutters to clear. There's a soldier already going up through water 2 in the background. As soldiers bomb forward, they try and get into Moolah, and they get the kill onto Moolah. Sylvs, fantastic rockets.
So that does give them the uber advantage here on the side of the Buccaneers. 2 minutes remaining to try to push into this point. Eon going to be coming up far beyond that. They need to make this perfect for this push, Ben. They cannot do anything wrong here. It's such a high pressure situation from the Buccaneers. They need to do it now, right? 6 minutes remaining, 2 minutes per round. That's tough. That's really, really hard. Mac is going to be the one coming in first, getting onto the sentry gun, get some good damage here. Will be them just taking the right-hand side. Not much more they can really do. Not able to get onto the demo man of Delhi either, as the 4th side were able to. And now it's looking difficult. Now it's not looking hopeful for the side of the Buccaneers. Sylvs, a bit of a last resort here. Won't be able to succeed as he is taken down. And now it's looking like it's all crumbling for the Buccaneers. 1 minute remaining. The French side looking to push out onto second here. And you have to think maybe the hopes and dreams are crumbling down before them.
There's an unfortunate reality about TF2 on the control points game mode. And that's that if you want to win rounds, you have to be able to push last. And Buccaneers, it's not like they haven't had the chances. They've had many chances. They've had many ones where they were pushing in, they were pressuring, they were dancing around, and now they're getting a new chance actually, because Yunu has come in with a great force there onto Mulu, who was incredibly weak. But this now is going to have to, Bloodsail Buccaneers, they've had their chances with these normal leader push. They have to just try and randomize, they have to go scrappy. And as time dwindles down, they're getting into the realms where it might well be over already.
Yeah, Uber has come up. They can start to go aggressive here on the Buccaneers. It is onto the scout of Sail to take down Nevo early. Delhi taken down as well. A little bit pant down from the French side, but a couple of players scurrying in behind. Just waste time on the clock slowly but surely here. You have to worry about them. You have to know they're behind all this time, and Mac is so paranoid. He's trying to get these people off the point, but he's going to be met by a soldier in his face as well. The cap is coming down onto mid. Should win it out on the side of the Buccaneers. But the 4th side, they're coming back in. They want to contest, but no, they're going to back out. I'm going to give it to the Buccaneers. They know they don't need to do these aggressive plays. There's 4 minutes remaining on the map. It's looking hard. It's looking nigh impossible, but they do not give up on the Buccaneers. Junu taken down early. Nice play from the side of 4th, and now it's just getting so messy. They're just looking desperately for these hero plays constantly, and it's just not going the way of the Buccaneers. Mac, last one alive in choke. Don't think there's much he's going to be able to do.
Not at all. Mac going to be trying to get out on this one. Yunu on the sniper again hasn't really lit up in the way that we've seen in prior games in this series on a whole. We saw a couple of nice shots on process, but had a couple of chances here on Gully. Hasn't quite had the impact we've seen he's capable of on some of these other maps, but it's probably home time, I think, for the Pirates at this point. It's been a good run, but all good things must come to an end.
Time to pack up their bags, sail on home, take the plunder that they have, because I don't think they're going to be in this one for much longer. Having a little bit of fun with it. Junu coming up on the sniper. Might as well play your favorite class for the last couple of minutes. But the Bloodsail Buccaneers, I feel like there was a lot of hope for them. I feel like there's a good core out of this team of Max, Sail, and Bloke who played together. Last LAN looks pretty good, but just not able to really make things happen here. You talk a lot about the LAN buff, but it feels like the French side have taken the LAN buff out of the Buccaneers, and they might put another nail in the coffin of the Buccaneers, because they look like they want to push in onto last.
May as well make it 4. Prove our desk wrong, because they both went for 3, and they will be smirking at us if it does actually end up at 3-0. But no 4th has anything to do about it. QB sneaking underneath, trying to get onto the cap, and actually does get onto the cap. So Wandum and Eeply in shambles. It's a 4th round for 4th.
What can you do, really? Oh, that's so unfortunate that he doesn't hit that arrow.
That arrow is so sad.
Those are like the frag video arrows that you always hope for when you're playing Medic, but it doesn't go to plan. And now we are truly in garbage time. We've got rocket jumpers coming out galore. How do you feel about this fourth-end side, Ben? Do you feel like maybe they're showing their form a bit more in this game?
I think they are. Honestly, I was, with the showing we had yesterday, I was slightly concerned. I felt like they weren't quite the team that we'd seen online, and particularly online in prior seasons, because this online season, again, in playoffs, they fell to the Buccaneers. But I think this is a team where when you've played together for so long with a consistent roster, you just know each other inside out, you can get over humps like that. You can, when there's a day of bad form or there's a couple of results not going your way, they can reset. They're old mates. They all know how they can adapt. They all know how each other play inside out. And in a LAN environment, in a really high pressure environment, that is just completely invaluable. And I'll let you know, I put my prediction in. I thought fourth-end would win second at this LAN. I expected them to have a deep run. And I thought, like, I just look at the names on the server, right? Bruised and Double, they've had great games. We've seen incredible clips from Delhi. The scouts have been munching up everything in front of them. This is a team that is up there as one of the best in Europe, and that's for a reason.
And it will be fourth-end making their way into the lower bracket quarterfinals, semi-finals?
Lower bracket semi-finals.
Semi-finals for the side of fourth-end. So one step closer to that rematch, making their way all the way into the finals. We'll see what they can do tomorrow, I believe. Because I believe we've got an upper bracket game coming up after this one.
Yeah, they're going to play the winner of the Aragosta against Pint Gaming, which has been played simultaneous to this. But you see, garbage time comes to a close. Players even leaving the server early. They want nothing to do with this one. Fourth-end domination on both of these maps.
Yeah, they just look like the better team today. And sometimes that's just the case. Sometimes they are just better. But the Bloodsail Buccaneers, they put up a valiant effort, 5th place for them in this LAN. And now they can fully enjoy the rest of their night and all of tomorrow, as we've still got plenty more games, Ben.
We absolutely do. As yeah, they're gonna be in action later. But I believe we have a desk of people maybe ready to talk about that one and break that one down.